are our eyes on the ground with our clients. Like, we don't necessarily see them anymore because we don't do home visits, so you are our connection. And many of you will flag a client saying, you know, I talked to so-and-so, or I took her for a drive, she's not really doing well. Well, that message gets passed on to our client services, that probably that contact from Linda or Peggy wouldn't have been made because we don't know.
I kind of got into volunteering by accident. I had really no interest in volunteering, but I always sort of had that feeling I should be doing something more because I missed that connection with people. And I found the volunteer medical drives were enormously satisfying. You felt you were really appreciated. You felt like you were providing a really necessary service and this sort of thing. And I enjoyed this contact with people again too. I can't wait till this COVID thing is over to where we can get back. In the meantime, I started doing the food deliveries, and that's rewarding, just to have that contact with people that really appreciate the service and this sort of thing. So I think I'm looking for that little extra pat in the back that, you know, people appreciate the fact that I'm here. So
yeah. When I retired, I thought my real passion are seniors, because I grew up with my grandmother and I have a real affiliation for seniors. I am a companion to a 96-year-old lady, and I've done that for about 8 years, as well as driving, and she certainly appreciates our weekly visits, so that's just great.
Are you phoning her, or are you actually taking her out?
No, I'm phoning her every week.
Yeah. And that she's okay with that now?
Yeah, so far. Darn COVID.
I know. Yeah.
When I read about the services that they offer, you know, drivers, companions, that sort of thing, I thought, well, I would not make a good companion for anybody, but I'm fairly handy in the house and gardening, so I ticked the box to do some household repairs and gardening, and I've discovered that. It slowly dawned on me that while I'm making these visits and helping folks out, they're really appreciating me being there, and most of them like to stay around and talk, and I find myself developing a very pleasant relationship with them, and they're many marvelous people. One particular lady in her 90s that I actually go and help her out with outside work and gardening every Wednesday morning. And she told me she really looks forward to my visits, and she insists on being out there with me and doing what she can. And it slowly dawned on me that I thought I'd be a very bad companion, but here I am. I'm not just a gardener and painting a house as well, but I'm also, I think I'm being a companion too, which I'm really enjoying. So that's one of the little side benefits of doing this work.
I have a selfish reason. I figure one day I'm going to need this service. I saw a poster in the park here, said you need volunteer drivers, and quite enjoy it. And the people I mostly drive on appointments are always interesting. You know, I've done some repeat drives, and we've become acquainted with each other, and we talk about families. It's a distraction for me too. I'm retired, have time, so wanted to give something back to the community, and this is a good place to do it.
I spent the last 17 years driving around the country with my wife. We sort of came to the end of that, and I thought, gee, I'm so used to driving, I really need to stay behind the wheel and keep my responses sharp. So I saw an ad for looking for volunteer drivers, and again, the people you meet are very interesting. There's some stories that I've heard from people about how they grew up in various parts of the world, and how they eventually came to Victoria. And I get as much out of talking with these folks as I think they do sort of in the services that I provide. So it really works both ways.
And it's really terrific, the work that Saanich Volunteers does. They provide such terrific programs for seniors, and you meet just wonderful people, and the appreciation that you receive for the little things that you do. You offer them an arm to get in and out of the car. You sit with them if they're at the hospital and they're nervous about having, you know, an x-ray or a scan or something. So it's a real joy to be able to give back to the community. And I thoroughly enjoy seniors. Their stories are terrific, and all they want is just a little conversation, and it goes so far.